Faithful Muslims pray 5 times a day. Does this have something to do with Islam? Yes, because Muhammad commanded his followers to pray 5 times a day. Non-Muslims, of course, can pray 5 times a day if they want. I might end up praying 5 times tomorrow. But Islam commands it, so it's not just a coincidence when Muslims obey this command. Faithful Muslims recite the Shahada. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. Does this have something to do with Islam? Yes, Muhammad commanded his followers to recite the Shahada. Faithful Muslims take the pilgrimage to Mecca. Does this have something to do with Islam? Yes, Muhammad commanded his followers to take the pilgrimage to Mecca. The Islamic State just released a video showing a group of Yazidis converting to Islam in order to avoid being put to death. Here's a clip.
ثم بعد ذلك تكونون مسلمين إخوة لنا عليكم واجبات ولكم حقوق. الآن تقولون مثل ما أقول أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله.
Do these forced conversions have something to do with Islam? Politicians, the media, and Muslim organizations like CARE and ISNA say no. But what does Muhammad say? Sahih al-Bukhari, 69:24. Allah's messenger said, I have been ordered to fight the people till they say, La ilaha illallah, there is no God but Allah. And whoever said, La ilaha illallah, Allah will save his property and his life from me. Sahih Muslim 33. The Messenger of Allah said, I have been commanded to fight against people till they testify that there is no God but Allah, that Muhammad is the Messenger of Allah, and they establish prayer and pay zakat, and if they do it, their blood and property are guaranteed protection on my behalf, except when justified by law, and their affairs rest with Allah. The same prophet who commanded his followers to pray 5 times a day and to recite the Shahada and to take the pilgrimage to Mecca also commanded his followers to fight people until they become Muslims. So when politicians and the media and Muslim organizations say otherwise, they're treating us like idiots who are too stupid to read words off a page.
So ISIL speaks for no religion. Their victims are overwhelmingly Muslim, and no faith teaches people to massacre innocents. No just God would stand for what they did yesterday and what they do every single day.
So this is about a battle between Islam on the one hand and extremists who want to abuse Islam on the other. It is absolutely vital that we make this distinction between religion and political ideology.
In Islam, the separation between temporal, secular and religious power is not only impossible, it is heretical. Only in the complete blending of all aspects of human activity and all aspects of political and legal functions of the state can we have the caliphate, the properly organized state that is pleasing to Allah.
Islam is not simply a religion, but it is a whole system. You may think it is only a religion, but it isn't. It has another component to it. It is also a state. What does it mean that it is Islam is a religion and a state? It means that it is a whole system. In other words, if you were to imagine your life, because what we are now talking about is life and religion. If you are talking about a life, this is a non-Muslim view of life. If that square was life, then this is life for us. And religion is a tiny, weeny part of it. According to Islam, that is not the case. According to Islam, this box, the same box, becomes a whole religious system. And life, as you see it, is a tiny part of it. It means that this life, you eat, you drink, you sleep, you have business, there are governments, there are laws, it is all controlled by this religious system. So Islam is not simply a religion. It is a whole encompassing system. It is a socio-political, socio-economical, socio-religious, educational, legislative, judiciary, militaristic system, cloaked and garbed in religious terminology. It is a whole thing. Everything that a Muslim does is according to this system. Everything is encompassing. It is a whole system.
I just wonder why you won't condemn it when your own leader, Omar Bakri, said quite simply, I condemn the killing of innocent people on the 20th of July.
Yeah,
why won't you say what he said?
No, at the end of the day, innocent people, when we say innocent people, we mean Muslims. As far as non-Muslims are concerned, they have not accepted Islam. As far as we're concerned, that is a crime against God.
I want to be clear about what you're saying. This is very important. You're saying only Muslims can count as innocent people.
As far as Muslims are concerned, you're innocent if you are a Muslim, then you're innocent in the eyes of God. If you are non-Muslim, then you're guilty of not believing in God. Yes, there were many victims.
You're guilty. Are you seriously suggesting that everybody on those tube trains and on that bus in London on July the 7th was in some way a legitimate target?
You don't allow me to answer the question fully, Stephen. You're never going to get to the bottom of it. Let me begin by saying, as a Muslim, you must have allegiance where the Sharia says that you have allegiance. You must hate and love for the sake of Allah. You must praise and dispraise for what the Sharia says, you praise and dispraise. So as a Muslim, I must support my Muslim brothers and sisters, wherever they are in the world. I must have allegiance with them. I must cooperate with them. I must love them. And similarly, on the other hand, I must have hatred towards everything which is non-Islam.
You know what, I'm trying not to interrupt you too much, but I still don't feel you have addressed my question. Were the people on the underground trains and on the bus legitimate targets because they were not Muslim?
I'm coming on to your point.
Some of them actually were.
No, you've asked about 2 or 3 different questions. You've asked about innocence. You've asked about whether they were legitimate target. You've asked about whether I'm condoning or condemning. You've asked about whether I praise them.
We've moved on from that.
No, but all of those questions,
very simple
all of those questions deserve to be answered. And obviously we have the time to explore them. So if I just continue with this particular point, as far as Muslims are concerned, their allegiance is always with the Muslims. So I will never condemn a Muslim for what he does. Indeed, I must stand with him, whether he's an oppressor or oppressed.
Sheikh Bakri declared Britain to be Dar al-Harb, which basically means a land of war, a land where...
Britain's always been Dar al-Harb. Britain's always been Dar al-Harb. Dar al-Harb is a place where there is non-Islamic law. The whole world today is Dar al-Harb.
The point about being a land which is Dar al-Harb is that you and your group, therefore, feel you have license to conduct violent operations within it.
Fact is that the whole world is Dar al-Harb. There are certain areas where the Muslims are actively liberating their land.
So why, on the 18th of January, did Omar Bakri declare Britain to be Dar al-Harb? If it's always been the case, why did he choose to say it?
Yeah, because you never bothered to listen to him before. But the fact is that Britain changed from being Dar al-Harb to being Dar al-Fitna. Dar al-Fitna is a place where the Muslims no longer have sanctity for their life and their wealth. That was the change. Otherwise, Britain has always been Dar al-Harb.
When Zawahri has said that he believes there will be, should be, new operations in London, inshallah, God willing. Do you feel the same way?
Well, I think that's inevitable. If you don't change the cause of what took place on 7/7...
I'm not asking you if you feel it's inevitable. I'm asking you if, like him, you are calling for them.
No, what we're calling for the British public and the British government to wake up. Withdraw your forces from the
I'm asking you not to talk about the British government. I'm asking you to give me your opinion on Al-Qaeda's leaders' new calls for attacks in the United Kingdom and in London.
That's his call, isn't it? So obviously...
So I'm asking you, will you condemn it?
No, I can never condemn a Muslim brother. I will never condemn a Muslim brother. I will always stand with my Muslim brother.